Hello everyone and welcome back to the Jambar Sports Extra. I'm Taziah Howard. A lot of sports to get into, so let's get it going. The Youngstown State University baseball team showed no mercy against Mercyhurst University on March 18th at Eastwood Field, where YSU won 15-5, making their record 3-16. After the second inning, the Penguins were down 2-0 before it outscored the Lakers 15-3 en route to a non-conference victory. The Lakers led the game with 15 walks, which ranked the most in program history. The Penguins' pitching was led by junior Brandon Mikos, who earned his first win of the season. After the win, YSU faced Purdue-Fort Wayne University on March 21st at Eastwood Field, which began a 3-game Horizon League series. The Penguins lost in a 5-4 nail-biter. Purdue-Fort Wayne scored 3 times in the top of the 9th inning to overcome a 3-2 deficit, challenging Youngstown State. In Game 2 of the series, YSU defeated Purdue-Fort Wayne 12-11 in another close matchup. Over its final 3 bats, Youngstown scored 9 runs to overcome the 7-run deficit. In the final game of the series, the Penguins were overwhelmed by 11 straight unanswered runs in the top of the 3rd inning as they fell 20-16. The team began its 4-game road stretch against Bowling Green State University on March 25th. Despite 5 strong innings from the Penguins, the Falcons scored 8 runs in the 7th inning to claim a 12-7 victory. Youngstown State will continue their road series against Wright State on March 28th in Dayton, Ohio at 3 p.m. A series of doubleheaders for the Youngstown State University softball team has the Penguins in full midseason mode. The Penguins traveled to Detroit, Michigan, where they took on the Titans of Detroit Mercy on March 21st and 22nd. Unfortunately, YSU fell to the Titans in the series 2-1. All 3 matchups between the teams were decided by 1 point. On day 1, the Penguins went 0-2 with 6-5 and 7-6 losses, but on day 2 they saw redemption as the Penguins won 2-1. YSU returned to their home field on March 25th to face Niagara University, where the Penguins swept the Purple Eagles in another doubleheader. YSU claimed a statement win in the first matchup with an 11-3 final score, and the Gwins carried their momentum into the second game, winning 16-8. Now, after traveling to Bowling Green to face the Falcons, the Penguins will return to the YSU Sports Complex to play in yet another doubleheader against Mercyhurst University on April 1st. The first contest begins at 3 p.m. and will be followed by a 5:30 p.m. contest. To view live stats and stay updated on the women's softball team, visit YSUsports.com. The outdoor track and field season is underway as the Youngstown State University track and field teams won 7 events at the West Virginia University Martin Pushkin Invitational March 21st through 22nd. The men's team had 3 athletes record wins. Freshman Jaden Kirkwood won in the shot put, while senior Colson Kuritz earned its first victory in the discus event, and junior Sage Favreau claimed the title in the 1500 steeplechase. The majority of wins, however, were on the women's side of the competition, as senior Molly Radcliffe led the way with 2 event titles in the hammer throw and the discus. In the women's 1,500-meter steeplechase, sophomore Kenzie Beckett finished first, and in the shot put, freshman Olivia Mason earned the final win for the Penguins. Youngstown State is back in action at the NC State Raleigh Relays March 27th through 29th in Raleigh, North Carolina. To kick off the spring season, the YSU women's soccer team found itself back in action for a matchup against Point Park University on March 21st. In January, Youngstown State hired Rich Wall to be the next coach of the program. The spring season would be the games coached by the newfound Gwyn. Wall said the games are helpful for him as a new coach to learn about his team and understand the strategy he wants to implement for the upcoming season.
We're learning a little bit about what we can do from a technical, tactical standpoint, and really where the pieces fit together. How deep are we, just the overall cohesion and quality of the team.
The Penguins only allowed 1 goal in the contest and scored themselves 3 in each half being played, bringing the final score to 6-1. In the first half, YSU saw goals from freshman Tegan Wall, as well as sophomores Kaylee O'Brien and Ava Sanjaveric. In the second half, junior Chloe Weiland and freshman Hannah Wahib and junior Taylor Berry also found the back of the net. Wall said he wants his team to develop faster counterattacks, and as for his long-term goal with the team, he said he just wants them to keep getting better. Now the Gwins will go on the road for their next spring game as they head to Pittsburgh to face the Panthers of the University of Pittsburgh on March 29th at 6 p.m. The Youngstown State women's lacrosse team fell short of its MAC opener in a 14-13 loss to Akron. The Penguins had a balanced attack with sophomores Katie Grautenthaler, Ava Kreutzer, Grace Rung, and Mia Uris each scoring twice. Grautenthaler led 4 points and 6 draw controls, but YSU was edged in total shots and draw controls. The Penguins then dropped the 19-6 matchup against Eastern Michigan, despite Kreutzer's second hat trick of the season and strong defensive play from Tori Bustamante. YSU looked to bounce back at home under the lights on March 29th against Robert Morris University. The matchup marks the team's first outdoor home game of the season at Farmers National Bank Field, with face-off set for 6 p.m. Fresh off a victory of the 21st Annual Music City Classic, the Youngstown State University bowling team began the postseason at the Conference USA Championship at Colonial Lanes. The Penguins earned their highest seed ever in conference tournament. The second-seeded Penguins opened up play against Sam Houston State University on March 20th. In the traditional segment, the Bearcats defeated the Penguins 967-959. But in the break-around, Sam Houston defeated YSU 1,047-956. And after the loss, the Penguins moved into the contenders bracket, where they were eliminated by Stephen F. Austin University. Despite the Youngstown State University's bowling team's Conference USA tournament loss, the NCAA selected the Penguins as the 3rd overall seed. The selection is the team's 5th consecutive at-large berth to the National Collegiate Women's Bowling Championship, and it will compete at the Rochester Regional on April 4th through the 5th. The 19-team bracket and regional sites were revealed on NCAA.com. Youngstown State will play the winner of Marion versus St. Vincent, which is scheduled at 9 a.m. Thursday, April 3rd. The Penguins will bowl at 9 a.m. the following day. A lot of sports and a lot more to get to. We'll have you catch a break, and I'll catch one too. We'll be back.
We know you hear it all the time. Why Youngstown State University? Why go to a school in the Mahoning Valley of northeastern Ohio, surprisingly beautiful as that may be? Why live on a campus that sits on the edge of the Rust Belt, historic and inspiring as that may be? In short, why choose Youngstown State? Here's why. Because when it comes to engineering, medicine, sports, business, and the skills you need to take your place in the future, we take a back seat to nobody because you can afford us, and we will afford you the opportunity to build the future you want and the life you desire. Why Youngstown State? Because we care about you, your success, and our future. Together. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we can ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we rise, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
Why Youngstown State University? Because when it comes to the skills you need to take your place in the world, we take a backseat to nobody. Youngstown State University. Now you know why.
Why Youngstown State University? Because I'm getting a top-tier education without the price tag. I can do anything here. I know why. It's not a question, it's the answer. Youngstown State University. Know why.
Welcome back from the break. As you may know, athletes don't get those a lot. I sat down with Marissa Masano of the YSU soccer team to discuss the incoming season for the fall season. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our interview segment of the Jambar Sports Extra. I'm sitting here with YSU soccer player Marissa Masano. Marissa, how are we doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm great, doing great. Now, obviously, during the springtime, we're heading into March, and we're getting right into the soccer season. So how are we feeling about the upcoming season?
I mean, spring's going really well right now. It's just a lot of preparation. Of course, like new coach, probably new tactics, new formation. So just planning out what we're going to do for the fall. I mean, everyone's still getting used to like the change. I mean, no one on the team has been through a coaching change like this. So it's just one day at a time, just everyone really getting connected on the field, and especially to our new coaching staff.
So you definitely have the team where obviously the seniority was the case last year. You had a couple fifth years. So now heading into the new season, how are these young talent guys and girls, for head coaching wise and for player wise, how are they going to step up?
I mean, it is weird, me being the oldest. Like, I'm in the senior class now, so it is different, especially with the new coaching staff. Like, they don't really know about us. Of course, they're coming in and learning. We do have a lot of young girls who have had a lot of playing time, especially last fall when we had a lot of injuries. So we have like a really good back line that's somewhat younger. We have a midfield. We have a Sarah Felder who's won freshman. She won some freshman award last year, so did Maya Nemoli when she came in. So those girls just continuing to like work on their stride and just getting used to, once again, the new coaching staff.
So obviously and unfortunately you went down with an injury last year, sustaining an ACL injury. So how has that impacted and reiterated your goals for this season and impacted you as a person?
I mean, it's kind of changed like a lot about me, made me a lot more grateful to be where I am. I mean, I've seen a lot of girls go down with ACL injuries, never thought it'd be me. So it really opened my eyes to like how much work you have to put in when you do go down with like a long injury like that. So being able to be back, I feel extremely blessed. I mean, we have great athletic trainers, we have a great physical therapist on campus. So being able to work with them and just getting my strength up, as well as just like putting together mental health tools to use throughout the season, I feel like I'm going into the fall probably better than I was the past couple years.
And leading off of that, so obviously, as an athlete, you know that ACL injuries, that's always the one that you hate to hear about because it's something that when you do hear about it, it's never good. So when you have that injury, are you thinking more in the future, like how you're going to come back from it, or are you thinking you're living in the moment, taking the steps it takes to get back to 100%, or at least how you would be when you're completely healthy?
I mean, when it originally first happened, I remember like asking the AT staff, like, it happened last spring. So of course I was like, can I play in the fall? Because my goal in the spring was to prepare myself for the fall. And they were like, no, like 9 months you're out. And like in that moment, it was, okay, now I have to be in the moment and take every day like step by step to get better. Because I felt like focusing too far ahead, you lose track of where you are. And especially with an ACL injury, it's like those little goals and those little hills you have to overcome. And if you kind of forget about those and you kind of forget about where you are in the process and you kind of try to rush things, and of course when you rush through rehab, of course you're more likely to get more injured. So I feel like now I'm in the return to play process. Now I'm thinking more about the future because I have that opportunity to play in the future. So I feel like that's where I am right now.
And as an upperclassman, you're now looked at from these younger girls as someone who's been through that kind of adversity. So do you see yourself as a leader heading into your junior and senior year?
That's a good question. A little bit on the fence about that, just because some of these girls have had more time playing than me, especially recently. So I've actually looked up to a lot of the younger girls, and like we've talked, because I struggle some days at practice where I'm like, wow, like I'm not really where I want to be right now, but they're like, girl, you've been out for 9 months. Like you got to give yourself and your body a break. But also like I do have like, just watching last year, I've gained a lot of like tactical soccer IQ from it, so I of course can help the girls with that. And I feel like the senior class, we were the only ones that were here in 2022 when we made it to that championship final. So having that experience, I feel, is something we like to use to help the younger girls just like push ourselves when it comes to the fall. And like when we're playing Milwaukee and we're playing those championship caliber teams, we know how to handle that.
So as a YSU athlete and as a person, what's one goal or one piece of advice that you would give to other younger athletes that are maybe heading into adversity from high school, from college, and from any other level of college play?
I would say take it one day at a time. I would say don't overthink. Like I used to be someone who would go to practice, and if I made a mistake, that's all I would think about the rest of practice. That's not how you should treat being a collegiate athlete, nor should you treat being an athlete at all. I mean, everyone's going to make mistakes, so you have to learn that you're not perfect, even though athletes want to push themselves to break that boundary of perfection. You have to know that every day is a new day, reset, and it's going to help you play better.
And we know this spring is obviously going to be on the rise for the YSU soccer team and all athletes in general. Adversity is inevitable, but we're doing our best to keep it coming. Thank you for joining us. Marissa Masano, Tazaya Howard. That's all we have for the Jambar Sports Extra today. Thank you for joining us. And remember, there are two types of people in the world, the ones who stare and the ones who elevate. Make sure you choose correctly. I'll catch you next time, Penguins.